I've seen a lot of cops, I've seen a lot of lawyers pull out all the stops. I've seen a lot of children with their parents in their hands. I felt a lot of women who refuse to understand. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take the world for granted. I just want to get right back to Top Players Planet. You see it in the papers, you read it every day. The riots and the fire going on in South LA. The muggers and the government, they're all wanting the same thing. They take you for your money, whatever spring. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. Take me. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. 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 Walked away to what you thought was real. You took everything that I had, yeah. Walked away, but you left one thing behind. You're wondering just what that is. Yes, you are. Well, the world stops spinning around, I'll be rocking. When the wall comes tumbling down, I'll be there. When the world stops spinning around, I'll be rocking. We're gonna make a little love down by the water, maybe at the sun, maybe at the daughter when the music man calls. That's when I gotta play. So I burn for the things I never had. I'm burning with hate, with love. Spin around. 'Cause as a boy I had a dream. Carry it with me today. Yes, I do. When the world stops spinning around, I'll be rocking. Sunny skies, the smell of palm tree air. Looking back, I could never feel fair. The way the music has touched my soul, the way that the sound holds its control. But I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the lands of new. Oh, na 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 na. That I have lost my friend. Catching sunset off the highway again. Then I get lost on a long summer day. I must go back before it's too late. You're afraid, you're feeling alone. Time and space can never unfold. The holidays can ring in your fear. The ghostly embrace can only me tears. And I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to lands of blue. Oh, na 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 na. Sitting at the lake, I'm feeling confused, but I had my guitar, so I played this blues. But I'm afraid, what might be true, that I might never be back someone to take me down at night, someone to make my day. New revelation fills my soul. Oh, I can waste away. You distracting my perfection, but you're too hard to find. Now the first night is coming, and I know what to do. You know that nothing feels sweeter than someone I need to taste your life again. I need a rendezvous. New revelation just feel my soul. Beginning and ends with you. Distracting my attention, you're all that's on my mind. Not looking for perfection, but you're too hard to find. Now the first night is coming, and I know what to do, yeah. You know that nothing feels sweeter than someone else, yeah. Now the first night is coming, and I know what to do, yeah. She knows that nothing feels sweeter than someone else. Yeah, alone it seems funny that I'm in love with you, yeah. You know that nothing feels sweeter than someone else. Yeah, 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 you. Oh, you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Oh, you. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah, yeah. Where did my color go? Got your head in the sand. You can't be in control using a powerful hand. I wanna be you, I wanna see you. Don't taste the kisses of hate. Don't try to tell me, don't try to tell me, don't try to say it's too late. You're gonna push me to the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, hide a little color, it's black and white and blue. Black and white and blue, yeah. All right. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. starts to ring a bell. Rackets free from the maze. We can be taught to love. We've got to learn the way. I wanna be, taste the kisses of hate. Don't try to tell me, don't try to sell me, don't try to say it's too late. You're gonna push me to the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shadows. Push me to the edge, add a little color, it's black and white and blue. Black and white and blue. Yeah. I wanna see, don't taste the kisses of hate. Don't try to tell me, don't try to sell me, don't try to say it's too late. Push me to the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, add a little color, it's black and white and blue. Yeah, black and white and blue. Black and white on the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, add a little color, it's black and white and blue. Black and white and blue. Sunny skies, the smell of palm tree air. Looking back, I could never feel fair. The way the music has touched my soul, the way that the sound holds its control. But I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the lands of the new. Oh, na 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 na. Then I get lost on a long summer day. I must go back before it's too late. I'm afraid you're feeling alone. Time and space can never afford. The holidays can ring in your fear. The ghost embrace can only mean tears. And I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to lands of blue. Oh, na 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 na. At the lake, I'm feeling confused, but I had my guitar, so I played this blues. But I'm afraid, what might be true, that I might never be back again. a long summer day. I must be back before it's too late. Before it's too late. What have I done? Ooh, what have you seen? Early at night, got in the fight, with the candlelight, looking through the screen. Now what have I done? What have you seen? You know there's no future in love when a person has come in between. Jamie's gone, Jamie's gone. Can't look back and now he feels so strong. Jamie's gone, Jamie's gone. Left last night and now it's been so long. What have I done? What have you seen? There was nothing to say, took her away, and I feel the pain. Made love in vain. Oh, oh, what have I done? What have you seen? She knows there's no future in love when a person has come in between. Jamie's gone, Jamie's gone. Can't look back and now he feels so strong. Jamie's gone, Jamie's gone. Left last night and now it seems so long. Ooh. Ooh. You can hear these words I say when you're a million miles away. Yeah. Jamie's gone, Jamie's gone. Can't look back and now he feels so strong. Jamie's gone, Jamie's gone. Left last night and now it seems so long. Jamie, come on, Jamie, yeah. And now you feel so strong. Jamie, come on, Jamie, yeah. Left last night and now it's making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take the world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. And of course, there we go. There you go.
We're here.
I was gonna do the whole the jerk.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna do that. I got no rhythm. but anyway, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to another edition of AstroWorld tonight. It's 9 o'clock, so that means it is AstroWorld TV night. We got some stuff to go over as usual. Just so everybody knows, the AstroWorld calendar is up on the website for pre-order right now. You can order. We've already sold 10.
Nice.
So order your AstroWorld calendar. Get as many copies as you want. I'm getting a copy of it first to see what it looks like. And get a feel for it. Hopefully everything's cool with it and the pictures come out good. Sometimes when you put things on print, kind of a little funky, but hopefully it comes out okay. So let's do the sponsors real quick, and then we'll get to some birthday wishes. So let's do that real quick. Let's get the sponsors. Where are the sponsors? Here are the sponsors. All right. So here we go. Next slide. We got for those of you that are new to the show, welcome. For those of you that are old to the show, you know the deal. We do have sponsors. We do giveaways. Tonight we are doing a giveaway for a I thought my screen turned blank. For a year subscription to IP for AP, and I'll change this for you guys so you guys can see this real quick. I don't know why this doesn't do it on its own, so it doesn't switch to the output. And there we go. So Woodland Hills Camera and Telescopes gives us a lot of stuff, a lot of donations for giveaways. We've been giving away $50 donation quite a bit. We just gave away a $250 gift certificate a couple of weeks ago. A lot of fun. So we thank Woodland Hills. Prima Luce Lab has given us an eagle to give away back in the summer. That was a lot of fun, along with more gift certificates to Camera Concepts. And we gave away a ton. I was going to say something else, but a ton of filters from Optolong, including 2 sets of 3nm narrowband filters, LRGB filters, planetary sets. I don't even know. It was like $4,000 worth of filters they gave us. So thank you to Optolong, Camera Concepts, Prima Luce, and Woodland Hills, of course. And then we have at our super giant level, we have Masters of Pix Insight and IP for AP, who have given us thousands of dollars worth of classes to give away. We're going to be giving away a 1-year subscription to IP for AP tonight, so stick around to the end of the show to go get that. And if anyone's out there who would like to become a sponsor, feel free to contact me at dan@astroworldweb.com, and I'll give you the packages that we have for sponsorship. You get slides, you get promotion, you get all that kind of stuff. Quasar member sponsors. These are all member sponsors that we have on our Patreon and our YouTube account. So thank you to all the member sponsors. And for those of you that are new to the sponsors, because there are a couple of new Main Sequence and Red Giant people, your perks are coming. I got more shirts in. So I didn't forget you. For any of you that are there that are new to the Red Giant, the Main Sequence level or higher, the shirts are in. They're going to be coming. You should be getting them sometime by the middle of January. So thank you for your patience. Main Sequence members, we have at least 4 that I know of that are waiting on shirts. So thank you. Ton of Protostar members. I don't know how this one exploded. Probably because it's $3.99 I think a month. But you know what? Hey, all of the sponsors are important, and all of them allow us to do what we do. So again, if you want to become a member, I urge you to go on our Patreon site at AstroWorld TV.
and go on Patreon, go search for AstroWorld TV and become a member. You get to see some members only content that is in there, and plus you get to hang out with the guys and all that kind of stuff. So January 4th, our first show of the year, I believe. We're getting Don Goldman to come on from Astrodon. It's going to be a lot of fun talking to see what he has in store for Astrodon and the next steps for his filters and see what's up with that. January 11th, we have RFT stars Carlos Aragon, and a really great 501c3, does a lot of work with children and using astronomy as a tool to help with anxiety and other things with children.
Yes.
And what children are going through today, a lot more than we went through. We didn't have these issues. We just went out and beat up the neighbor. We didn't, we didn't have these issues. But and then on January 25th, we have Craig Stocks coming back for number 3, I think it is. And he's going to be here talking about his APP workflow. Really, really cool. It's going to be, because I've had some issues with APP, which we'll talk about tonight. But it's all user error, just not used to it. So Eric is the APP user, so I'm going to be asking him some questions about that. And he doesn't know that yet, but he knows now. So and of course, join us on our other social media platforms. Our Discord is at 105. Twitch is up to 30 people. 30 people watch us on Twitch. I don't know why, but we're on it. We're just there. And Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the other garbage out there, the social media platforms. Feel free to get us wherever you get your social media information. We're on it. So thank you so much for everybody for dealing with me and the sponsors. And I guess the first thing to do before we actually get into anything, we got a little
is to click give us a like, click, thumbs up.
Give us a thumbs up. We got 14 people.
Give us a thumbs up. That's the first thing we want you guys to do before we get started. Give us a thumbs up. If you're new to AstroWorld TV, this is your first time viewing us, welcome. We really appreciate you joining us, taking time out of your Wednesday, your holiday week schedule to spend and hang out with us. We really, really appreciate it. But yes, please, if you're on YouTube, share the show. Sharing is caring, caring is sharing. Click on the link, pass it on to your friends, give us a like, ring the bell so you can get notified and get, and subscribe. Facebook, as I said, share to public, send it out to all of your astronomy and astrophotography friends. Let them know, hey, there is a show out here that's on twice a week where these guys, they're nuts, but they're fun and they know their stuff and they enjoy doing this just because we enjoy doing it. It's nothing more, nothing less. It's just us having fun. So yeah, do not forget, please smash that like button, Hulk smash it, whatever you want to do, gently press it, whatever it is, even give a little dainty clip, click, there it is. But give us a like because that helps YouTube know that hey,
we're here.
We're out here, and that we're here. And when people look up astrophotography, we want to have AstroWorld be part of that feed. So
absolutely,
really, thank you.
And the next most important thing we gotta do is that we got a birthday in the house. So we set up a little something. So come on down, everybody, and say
birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dad. Happy birthday.
Blow it out. Do it. Ow, shit.
The wax blue, huh?
Yeah.
You did.
Oh
you
my
did.
goodness gracious. Come here. Hey. Bro, come here.
You burned me.
Give me love, baby.
But you burned me, Father, 3 times.
Sorry.
You better be sorry.
Oh my gosh, I love you guys. Thank
Love
you
you too.
so much.
I'll be right
That
back.
was
Eric, Eric, at
that
your
was
age, you could blow out that candle. You could blow out that
oh
candle at your age.
yay! Hey, I still got the lung capacity. We got the lung capacity. Oh man.
Yeah, well,
That
you
is
can't
freaking
blame that on us. Robin texted me at like 7:45 or 7:45 and said, "Can we wish can we wish him a happy birthday on the air?" I said, "Absolutely, come on, let's do it." So you can blame it. You can blame it on Robin. But
Robin, you are in trouble, baby. You're in trouble. We got some explaining to do. You got some explaining to do there, baby. But no, I love it. Thank you guys. Really, really, really appreciate it. Holy cow, that is awesome. That is awesome.
Well,
Yes.
well,
Yes.
welcome,
it is.
welcome to the half century mark.
Yeah.
so
Yeah, it's I can say I'm in my 50s. I'm not 50, but I'm in my 50s. So hey, making my way towards, retirement. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
Thank you guys. Really appreciate
yeah,
it.
no problem, man. Well, thank you, wife. It was her idea. So
Yes.
but yeah, so yeah, I'm looking. So this is the company that the AstroWorld calendar is coming from. And the pictures look pretty good. This is another calendar. This is one of the other astronomy calendars that they did for one of my group. And I mean, it seemed like that they printed okay. I'm going to be getting two. They're already being printed now to just take a look and see. And hopefully, I don't know whose kid is that. I don't know. But it should be interesting. They got a lot of good pictures and they seem to print out okay. So hopefully that's going to be working out pretty good. We spoke about the main sequence members. We always talk about how we care about our members and everything. I'm not going to mention this person's name, but I got to throw some condolences out there. If he wants to say, he can. That we had a member that lost their mother this week, and just wanted to throw out my condolences to him and his family and all that. But I just want to say that because it's important to recognize that kind of stuff, especially when you throw it out on social media anyway. But that being said, we are here tonight and we are chilling. And so yeah, I was playing with APP the other night. And man, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, bro.
What?
Don't know.
I mean, you've got this beast of a computer now.
Yep. Oh, I've had it for a long time. It's great. It's not
now,
the computer.
And then you tell me it's basically the program crashed on you.
The program crashed. Everything else was working fine. The computer was fine. It wasn't the computer. I was surfing. I was doing 15 different things. I got 128 gig of RAM or Ryzen 9. I mean,
Let me ask you this. Let's go through a couple things. One, how much memory did you dedicate, and how much CPU did you dedicate to APP?
I think it was 30 threads.
Okay.
Out of 32.
Okay. All right. So there's that. There's lots of different things within AstroPixel processor that you can definitely look at and check. Now we talked about this even through chat, is especially when you're doing different exposure lengths, I would recommend you do them in different separate sessions. Now,
well, so let's slow that down for a second, because people that don't use APP don't know what the hell we're talking about here. Excuse me.
Right.
So the sessions, I don't know if you've used Deep Sky Stacker before, Eric.
I have. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the sessions are more like the Deep Sky Stacker groups. Right? So you have night one being session one or group one in Deep Sky Stacker. And in that group or session, you have the corresponding lights, darks, flats, bias. Then you have night two, which is session two, with the new lights, flats, darks bias, or you could take if you just have darks for whatever, you could have the darks for all sessions. You could have the flats for different sessions, and you could have the bias for all. You could do a couple of things back and forth. You don't have to load up darks for every session. You could have the darks for all 3 sessions. Now, can you do more than 5 sessions? That's my first question, because it only has session 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right. I would recommend not going that route unless you have a lot.
It was just a question. I didn't do that.
Yes, you can name them. You can name sessions, so you can add on more sessions. Yes, but that you're talking quite a bit of computing, and computing power and crunching you're gonna have to do.
No, and again, it was just a question that I had because on the screen it only went up to 5. So,
right.
Not something that I was doing. I was only doing 3 sessions, so I did 3.
Okay, cool. So you're totally cool there.
So got all the way up to what is it? It's what is it? 0, then 1 is load, and then
1 is load, 2 is calibrate.
2 is got through calibration, not a problem.
That's recalibrating, and then you got your star analysis.
So that's right there. Boom. I hit analyze stars.
Yep.
Nothing happened on the screen. It just sat there. Did nothing.
What is your automatic? What was your target? Stars target. I usually I keep it at the default of 500.
Oh yeah, no, that was. I left it just like somebody said on I think AstroBloke or somebody I was watching, and he kept it. Hit the thing. Nothing. Fine, no problem. Turns out I had an older version of APP, so I went to 2.0. I didn't have 2.0. So I went up to 2.0. So I got past the analyzed stars. Boom. Did everything. I started from scratch again because I wanted to start from scratch. I did the calibration again. I did everything again. It took like 4 days. So I hit start. I got past the analyze. Then I get to what's next? The registration, if I remember right.
Yep.
So registration, nope, failed.
Really?
Failed.
Did it?
Just
now. Did it give anything? As far as
I'd have to do it again to get like an error again. I forgot what the error was. I think I sent it to you actually. I don't know.
Okay, I'll have to take a look.
Yeah.
I'll have to take a look. Usually, to be honest with you, I personally keep everything pretty much at default. I don't change anything except when it comes to loading. I would select either the channels or the session or anything like that. I'll select those and I'll put in my sessions if I'm using different sessions, or now that I'm on mono, the multiple channels. But other than that, and as far as the algorithm, I keep it at the base algorithm, which is adaptive airy disk. And then once that's done, I let it go, because my process is this. I'll put everything through PI, through PixInsight, to do blink. That way I can just review everything, because the reviewing process in APP is non-existent. So using PixInsight for that, I can go through, blast through, analyzing all of my frames and ditch whatever else I had. All of the bad stuff. And then I will go and load everything in a AstroPixel processor. And basically from there, once I load it, I actually just go directly to integrate. And when I'm in then integrate, I will set, my settings as far as if it's multi-channel, I'll integrate per channel. I'll integrate per session, or all sessions, or a combination of that.
Right.
Then I'll select how many I want to stack, a percentage up to 100%,
right,
or I'll bring it down. But then after that, I just honestly I let it go, and I personally have not had a problem.
I'm wondering if it has to do with I was doing
but how many more are you loading?
What?
How many more are you loading total?
How many subs?
How many? Yeah, how many lights?
Well,
Let's hear it.
1200.
That's some crunching, but
It
Okay.
should.
I found this on the web for one.
shut up, Siri. That's
It
some
was-
crunching.
Yeah,
But
so it was 797 30 seconds, 315 and 305, something like that.
wow.
So now, you know what? I'm going to try and just do the 797
Okay.
with the 30 seconds in one session and see what it does.
Right. Okay.
Actually, I'll start with the 300 with the 5 second, make it easy on the computer. And then, you know, this should not overtax the computer at all. It should not overtax it at all. Now, but
no, it shouldn't.
it shouldn't, especially when I'm giving it 32 threads. But I'm
Right.
sorry, 30 threads. 30 threads.
Threads. No, it should not. So yeah, the only thing I would say in double checking is as far as your registration and your reference framing, because that way you make sure everything is aligned.
Yeah.
But besides that, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I'll do.
interesting.
And then what I'll do is I think it might have been I mean, again, you know, because I am stacking 3 different nights at 3 different exposure times. Tried to put it all together at once for my first project in APP. Probably a bad thing to start with. I probably should have started with something a little bit more normal. But you know, because I'm going to be using, and it was stupid for me. Now that I think about it, it was stupid for me to do that because I want the separate 15, 5, and 30 to do an HDR composite. I don't want them all put together by APP on its own because that overrides all the work that I'm going to be doing later on over in PI. So,
Right.
you know, in hindsight, I'm like, you're a moron. But you know, and again, maybe that's something to, you know, to talk about. You know, that when you're doing it, maybe just getting up to that, because they don't do, you know, getting up to the gradient removal in APP.
Yeah,
and then bringing it over and do it. Now, let me ask you a question. You do gradient removal in APP?
Yes, I do light pollution and gradient removal, background, all that. I do it in
Now,
APP.
do you do it again in PI?
No.
Don't bother.
need
Just start with the
Don't
noise
bother.
reduction.
Yep. I just go, noise reduction, and if I'm doing SPCC or anything like that,
Yeah.
do that. But yeah, no.
Gotcha.
That DBE, I skip it.
So what I ended up doing is I said, screw it. I went back to PI. And what I did was, because, you know, I'm getting the same issue that Josh is having with his Red Cat. And I didn't think I was having it until I did some real pixel peeping. That chromatic aberration from yellow, red to white to blue in every star. And I'm getting that, you know, I'm getting the same exact thing that he got. And
Wow.
it's kind of concerning to me, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And, you know, I thought it was a one-off because, you know, that's, you know, because I haven't heard of anything like this with the Red Cats at all. And I sell Red Cats all day, but, you know, I never have them returned except for one person who's on the show that returned it. But, you know, and that's fine. There was some serious issues with that one. But whatever the case may be, 99% of them are gold. And it's just very, very weird that I'm having this chromatic aberration. So what I did was I go through PI, get them separate, you know, get the combined and get the separate, so RGB, and process it like a mono, and
Right.
just see if that kind of integration will help solve that chromatic aberration. Because I've read other places where that can do that when you do all your processes separately on the 3 channels and bring the channels together and integrate them together.
Yep.
It'll line things up a little better.
Yep.
So.
Exactly. Yeah, I personally, you know, feel it could be user. Yeah, definitely could be some user error. I was thinking, how many times did you try going through the integration? process?
with
How many
APT?
times- Yeah. How many
Twice.
times did you try? Okay. So you tried it twice, and both
Twice.
times it failed. Okay, I'll have to take a look because you said you sent me an email or something with the error. I'll have to take a look at that.
Yeah,
And-
yeah, that's fine.
But yeah,
so
and I see we
so
have Wayne.
wait.
hopped on.
Yeah, I saw Wayne popping around in there.
Yeah, so thank you for joining, Wayne. Really appreciate it, man.
And
And-
yeah, I'm trying to get, if he's still there, Wayne, you got to give me a date to come on the show because everybody wants you back. So want to talk about the Sky Shed Pod S. So everybody wants to talk about the new Sky Shot. And you and I got to talk on a personal level if you're still there because it's time. It's time for me. It's time. I'm getting too damn old. So
yep, I hear you, brother. I hear you.
So
I want to enjoy this as much as I can, So I'm feeling the same way. I feel the same way.
So I guess Josh brought up a point up there saying that you can't dither when you do this split. Why? I don't understand why. Because it's still a one shot. It's still a one shot color. So whether you do in one shot or split or mono, it doesn't really matter because all it's doing is moving that camera, right? And if it's splitting each picture into the 3 composite.
Now, like I said, I have not used my one shot to split the channels. I've never done that. One thing that I have done is I would do my full integration and everything of my one shot data, get that all done. And then I have taken it into PI.
Right.
And I've split the channels in there.
Yeah.
Right. And then did, and made changes and did my workflows and be combined and did everything else. But yeah, but I haven't done that because I know there's an area, I believe it is in section 2 that, or tab 2, that you can actually split your.
Yeah, it's always down at the bottom. Yeah.
Yes, at the very bottom where you can split your channels. But I personally have not done that.
So I didn't do the split in APP. This is the split I did in PI.
Okay. Okay.
Because I did it in WPPP. But I don't see why you can. Maybe you could kind of elaborate on what you've heard, Josh, because I don't see why you wouldn't be able to dither when you're taking a one-shot color, which is one image, and splitting that image into the proper wavelengths, right? Why would it matter? You're not dithering in between frames. You can't do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And even if you were, you dither like RGB, you dither R, you dither G, you dither B, so maybe you could explain that to me. Drizzle, not dither. But yeah, I tried and I can't dither. I'm not sure. Maybe you just don't need to if you split.
You should still
dither. You should still dither. It gets rid of that walking noise, man. And
absolutely. Dither or die.
Yeah, but, you should dither. And if you're dithered, you'll be able to drizzle. Now, drizzle doesn't have anything to do with the chromatic aberration issues that you may be having. Drizzle has to do with, and which you're not really going to have that much of a problem, Josh, with the 183 and the Red Cat. You're at 1.9.
Yeah,
on the sampling rate.
Undersample when you're really under sample.
Yeah, when you got those block stars, kind of look like that.
Yep.
And now you're gonna have to drizzle to get that shape back because your pixels are your pixels you can't get enough information in the pixels to make a nice round star.
Yep. Exactly.
I got you, Josh. I understand. I'm just trying to find out why that wouldn't be that way. I'm not a brilliant person, but I don't see a reason why. I guess I'll need, and Sean, you're out there. If you have any information on that, feel free to throw it in the chat because I don't know I haven't heard any issues of not being able to drizzle if you split the channels, because you get a
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, maybe WPPP isn't generating the drizzle files necessary when you do the split. That might be it. I don't know. I'd have to look at it.
Yeah. Let's see. The question is, what is drizzle? I've never done it.
What is drizzle?
So
I need to fix my camera. It's cutting off my head. Sorry. Now it's there you go.
now the two things I will say about about when you're doing drizzle integration, because because it's what you're doing is you're correcting that star shape is one of the big things you're doing is correcting that star shape. You have to be undersampled. Okay. That is the one thing you have to have. You have to have undersampled data. Second thing you have to have is you have to do dither. You have to dither you have to do those two things. You have to have an undersampled data, and you have to have done dithering during your capture process, or else you cannot properly run drizzle. You can't drizzle integrate properly. But I'll leave, the bigger explanation on what it is and everything to you.
I'm just looking for raw data. I'm looking for some of my old S-Big data, pre-S-Big data.
Let's talk about image scale. Let's go back and define.
Yeah, this is all about image scale. Yes.
Because this will define what undersampled and oversampled is. So once again, here's the formula for image scale. An image scale is expressed as arc seconds per pixel. So IS equals 206.265 times the microns, the pixel size of the camera, divided by the focal length. Now that'll give you a value. You want to have that value between 0.7 and 2 arc seconds per pixel. If you're over 2.0, then you'll be undersampled, and that's where you have to consider drizzling. Now, that's not a concrete number. I mean, you can get a variable between, say, 2.0 to 2.25. You'll be okay. But once you get above that value, as Dan says, your stars will start to kind of look blockish. Now, if you are less than 0.7, now then you've got more resolution than what your typical scene conditions will allow, and that will tell you now that you're going to be oversampled. The only time you really want to be oversampled is if you're doing planetary work, because planets are small, you want to get that high resolution. But once again, you can't overcome the physical properties of what seeing is. So those are just guidelines for your image scale.
Right.
I'm still looking for a picture of my S-Big camera that will give me an undersampled image here. So I know I have
now. Pete has given you the formula, because again it's in arc seconds per pixel. Of you have your pixel size divided by your focal length times it's 206 206.2. But
265.
265, yeah, 206.265. Now you can calculate it that way, but also just to let you know, that's the resolution formula. But you can also go to astronomy.tools and go to calculators and go to CCD suitability calculator. Enter in your telescope if you're using a flattener, not a flattener, but a reducer in your camera, and then it will calculate. It'll do the same calculation that Pete has just explained, that resolution formula. It'll do it right there. And it will tell you right off the bat there if you are, right in the sweet spot between 0.7 and 2 arc seconds, 2.0 arc seconds, or if you're over that and if you're undersampled, or if you are actually on the other side when you're oversampling. So just as that's just a quick thing there. As far as that calculator, just to let everybody know.
Dan, if you want, pull up that image of the rosette that I sent to you. That'll show you. If you zoom into the middle part of the rosette, you'll see those stars looking kind of blockish.
I'd
That'll
have to
help you
find
out.
out where that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Because when you undersample, you end up, you know, if you look at your stars, they begin to start squaring out or getting blocked, you know, versus oversampling, they start to seem bloated, you know, so.
And as you're right, Eric, I'd rather have bloated stars because you can always reduce bloated stars.
You can always do star reduction and reduce versus correcting a square star.
yeah,
You know?
so you know, I can't seem to find a picture. I don't know why I can't find one, because I know I have a ton of undersampled. I was a sampling rate with my S-Big camera at like 2.9. And so, you know, my stars really look like that nice border that you see around everybody's face, that rectangular border that we had. That's what my stars look like. So I had to drizzle. So I needed to dither. You got to dither your frames. And yes, Dave, you're exactly right. Drizzle was actually developed by the Hubble folks because they were majorly undersampled and they had blocky stars. So what basically you're doing is digital painting. That's what basically you're doing. You're dropping, you're averaging out the pixels around and building the star around it.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's pretty much what you're doing.
Yeah. So if I share my screen here really quick, so to share this really fast.
Oh, okay.
So if you are at astronomy, so if you go to astronomy.tools and under your calculators, it's not the focal length ratio or field of view. It's actually down here at the bottom towards the middle. It's CCD suitability. All right, because you want to make sure, you know, because this is also a really good way to matching up your camera with that OTA, making sure they're kind of a good match, or knowing what to expect between the equipment that you have. So you will simply go here, and as it says right here, find the optimum camera telescope combination. So, for example, I would go to my one of my OTAs, which is the William Optics FLT91. Okay, right now I'm just using my flattener, and then I have a ZWO 2600 mm, and as you can see right there, I'm in, you know, with my seeing, I'm usually around within this area. I have, with the seeing, it's fairly decent when I'm imaging. So I'm in that green area, you know, so I'm at 1.44 arc seconds per pixel. Now, if I was using a different camera, say like the 2400, then now I'm at 2.27 arc seconds per pixel. Now I am undersampling. And this is when, you know, I have to plan on drizzling, as well as when I'm doing my capture, I have to remember to dither.
Yeah,
now,
can you show the impact, of the adding a reducer and the binning as well?
So if I was doing a reducer, it would even give, because I'm shortening up that focal length even more.
Right.
So I'm going further over, and I'm increasing that resolution even more so. And if I was binning, boom.
Big problem.
So that's huge. So it's like, no, you can't do that. That's not, because now I basically doubled my pixel size. So now my resolution is even higher, you know, than what it needs to be. So this is a very good website to check out, you know, field of view, but go to calculators. And as I said, CCD suitability, and this will help you, just like Pete says, giving that calculation is just a slightly quicker way, and also to mix and match the different types of telescopes, you know, OTAs and cameras. So you may want to do some, you know, so if you're in the market for equipment, this can give you some ideas, as well as, will this work with that, and, you know, and so on.
Yeah.
So,
and Eric, you know, that's something, and Pete, This is something that we always talk about, especially being in retail like we are. People don't do their due diligence before they do that and use a tool like that to kind of pair up. Either maybe they have a telescope and they want to buy a camera, or maybe they have a camera and they want to get a telescope to fit. It's the right tool for the right job. And
Yes.
you can't sit there and well, you won't like it, but you can't sit there and take a let's say a 6+ micron camera and throw it on a red cat. It's not going to work. Those high pixels are better for higher focal lengths.
Yeah. And David's giving us some really good information here, especially talking about the true sampling rate, which is that image resolution, compare divided with the final full weight half measure of the stars. So this is some really good information that David is sharing here as well. Yep. So thank you for posting that as well, David.
And so this is a comment that I'm going to give out to AZ Astro.
Yep.
There's a book that I'm going to highly recommend that you get, because this will become your Bible when you get into this hobby. And it's the Deep Sky Imaging Primer. Believe me, you'll want to get this book. And believe me, everything that we've talked about today will be discussed in this book. And you'll always make reference to it. So please, as I said, it'll be the best $50 investment you'll probably make getting into this hobby.
Zoom is here.
Absolutely.
Right there.
There it is. Yep.
There it is. Working with, that image scale. So
and Charles has been on the show 3 times now. And he's one of the he's actually one of the he's one. I'm gonna start getting him a jacket like Saturday Night Live host jacket, So that's the third. Get the 3rd edition, AZ. The 3rd edition just came out. It's got the horse head on it. The third. Yeah, thank you. The 3rd edition right there.
3rd edition.
Get the 3rd edition. It just came out because in the 3rd edition, he literally puts, I think, just about half of the back end of the book just about PixInsight and how to process with PixInsight.
It's Photoshop and PixInsight. So the first half of the book is hardware. The second half of the book is all about post-processing and your workflow. So believe me, you've got a great book here that will be your Bible for doing everything that you want to do from a hardware to post-processing. So definitely it's worth everything you want to get.
Yeah, go get it. And
it even has a little bit in here within APP.
Yep.
If you decide to use AstroPixel processor.
Maybe I should read that. I should probably read that. I got both editions of the book. I skipped right over that part because I just used PixInsight. But AZ just bought it.
There you go.
Tell him AstroWorld sent you. Ha ha.
This is your Bible. Trust me.
Absolutely. And Dave, you're right. And we talk about that quite a lot. If you like undersampled images, I'm not saying a lot of people do. I mean, I do not like my stars looking like that. But it's all about the art. It's all about what you do. And if you like it, and maybe you're looking for something a little different, and sure enough, that'll get you where you want to be, something different. But again, it comes down to you and what you like. And I like green. Nobody likes green. I like green. So I mean, Dave, you know me. I'm a peeping Tom. I'm a peeping Dan. But that's
I guess the key is that you can do a lot in post-processing because you got so many algorithms that you can do, but it's a lot easier if you get everything done up front with the hardware. Case in point, get the right pixel size of the camera to meet the image scale for your telescope.
Absolutely.
And once you get all that done, everything will just become so much easier. Once you kind of hone your skill set on that, then like Dave says, if you kind of like maybe having undersampled images, you can definitely kind of get you can kind of play with it if you like to. But as I said, if you get everything up front within what you really want to do, it'll make post-processing a lot easier than having to go back in and say, okay, I've got an image here. how do I go ahead now? And I can only put so much lipstick on a pig, right? That's the term we always use. If you got a garbage image, believe me, you can try everything you want. You got artifacts. There's just no way you're going to be able to kind of, put so much lipstick on a pig to be able to make that thing look beautiful.
Yeah,
Right.
and you know what, and Scott's not here, but he says it all the time when he's on the show if he talks. But he says get the data on camera first, where you don't have to go all that crazy with the post processing, fixing things that you shouldn't have to be fixing. You know what I mean? If you're able to kind of make sure your stars, make sure you're tracking right, make sure that you're polar aligned, make sure that you're taking the right exposure for your seeing. You're not going to eliminate the light pollution in Long Island, but you could tame it a little bit with exposure. And so there are things you could do, but you want to sit there and you want to make sure that you get as much pure data on the chip in the sub before you start bringing it in and trying to fix. It's a lot easier to start with good data than it is to fix bad data. So,
And as Dave was saying, is that when you've got an 80 to 100 millimeter focal length, that can hide a lot of ills.
yeah,
Because it's such a wide field of view that unless you pixel peep, but I mean,
unless if
you can hide a lot of ills.
like me. No, I thought you had more to say, Pete. I'm sorry. That's why I stopped.
No.
Now, I was looking here. He's been using the QA. He's using QHY cameras, the 163 mono and the 183 color.
Yep.
So I'm also curious. I didn't see your OTA. What OTA you've paired with those? And so I'd just be kind of curious about that. But yeah, David, absolutely. There's smaller refractors are, sub 80 millimeter. They're, wide field. They're so forgiving. Oh, sorry.
That's a birthday. That's a birthday call.
Yeah. Let me grab this here really quick.
I'm not using zip ties. I don't use zip ties. But yeah, so listen, I have, what do I have? I have the 80. I have the Red Cat at 250. So that's a 51. So I mean, I that's been my project right now with M42 with a lot of subs going. So it's going to be interesting. I'm going to do it again. I said I was done with the picture, but then I looked at it again. I just don't like the way the stars are so bloated. So I got to do some work on that.
So what we should do then for AZ Astro to help them out, Dan, we should go back to that tools that Eric pulled up and input the camera that he has. He's got an Explorer Scientific 102, so he's got a rich field scope. So
Right.
He's got a really a wide field, and then we can show him exactly what his image scale is, and then he can kind of get an idea of.
Well, he saw his image scale is 1.03, I think.
Oh, okay, so he's fine.
Yeah, I told him that no drizzling, but it was talking about exposure calculator, and I believe it has one in there. Calculators, guide scope, telescope. No, this one does not. But there, let's see, CCD calculators, resolution, pixel size, chip size, filter size, dust reflection. No. What has the exposure calculator is SharpCap as an exposure calculator, if I remember right. I don't have that available to pop up right now, unfortunately.
Yep, it's Sky Tools. Sky Tools also has
Tools. Sky Tools I have. I could actually bring that up, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I got Sky Tools for imaging. I got so much software. I just don't use it all. And this is an interesting little program. I know I don't want to update right now. It's been a while since I've used it.
Well, I like it. Craig Kuhlau's got a great little program with Sky Tools.
Yeah, so this is Sky Tools, if I remember right. And tools, and I got to remember where it is. It's been a while.
What are you guys looking up? Sorry.
An exposure calculator.
Okay.
And I don't remember where it is on here. I really don't remember. It's been a while since I've used this.
Yeah, I've got a I've been working, Sky Tools, learning it. So yeah.
Filter, weather.
Dan, I think it's underneath at the far right under image time. Go up just a little bit, then to the right, then down. Go down, 1, 2, right there. Image time. Is that it right there?
That's just an image time. That's all grayed out right now, but there is one in here somewhere. I don't remember where it is. All right, so much for that. We'll move on.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with what's your Bortle skies. Case in point, if you're at a Bortle 1, Bortle 2, you can push that up to 5 minutes because you're at a dark sky site. If you're at where Dan's at and you're at a Bortle 8, Bortle 9, then you're going to be limited, or you've got to consider looking at narrowband filters.
Well, and you know what? One-shot color is tough in my skies. We did an exposure calculator on the show. Me and Eric, we did an exposure calculator using Sharp Cap's image sensor analysis.
Yeah.
And basically that said, I think it said something like 7 seconds in one-shot color.
Really low.
And I'll tell you this, with the what did I put in there? With the D3 filter in there, the LED light pollution filter from IDAS. I was able to pull off 30 seconds. One-shot color.
Nice.
So that I was able to. I'm wondering what the sensor analysis would say with that in there, if it would make a change. I don't know. But I was able to pull that M42 was 30-second shots as a base. So that's fine. Now, when I'm doing mono, I could do 300 seconds, no problem. But I'm doing RGB filters, I could do that because you get. Go ahead, Pete.
No, because you bring up a point there. It depends upon your dark skies. Is it one-shot color? Is it a monochrome camera? Do you have a filter with a one-shot color camera? So there's all these variables. So once again, you have to kind of go through the process to determine what is it that you're using, and then go for it. And what are your Bortle skies? Is it a Bortle 8, Bortle 1? So you're absolutely right, Dan. There's a lot of variables. So to be able to give you an idea about what your exposure time is, you have to give consideration of what your environmental factors are.
Sure, absolutely. And in my skies in New York, I mean, I'm at a 9. I'm in the whitest part of the whitest, not light pollution wise. I'm in the whitest area that you could get to. You can't get any brighter. The only brighter that you're gonna get is being on top of the Empire State Building. I mean, that's the only place that's probably brighter. But the whole thing is, and just remember also, it also depends on where in the sky you're shooting as well, because you may be a Bortle 8 in the west and a Bortle 7 in the east. So you want to remember that as well. That's an interesting point. But when you're shooting just RGB filters with a mono camera, you get some beneficial, I guess, and it's not really light pollution. You're not stopping the light pollution, but you're only allowing the red, the green, and the blue wavelengths of light coming through. So you're getting technically, not technically, but you're getting a third of the light pollution that you're really getting with a one-shot color.
Right.
That's not a scientific 1/3, you know, but I'm just saying it's 3 different colors that you're getting.
And then Dave brings up a good point too, is that, yeah, maybe we're talking about CMOS cameras, but in the days of CCD cameras, we had to overcome the read noise.
Yep.
You know, so there's another factor that you got to consider. Are we talking about CCD cameras? Are we talking about CMOS cameras? So let's kind of fast forward here to 2022. Everybody's now using a CMOS camera. So definitely
Not everybody.
well, I agree, and I still have my CCD camera. And I still like to use it, and I've got a read noise of like right at around about 12.
Oh.
You know, it's how it is, but I still love the camera.
I mean, my S big was a 9, and I mean, the read noise was just horrible. I mean, you had to take those if you didn't take those bias frames,
Yeah,
you were screwed. You were screwed. You get this nasty, ugly looking picture. But
you know, the funny thing about my CCD is kind of like my Sunday driving car. Once every 3 or 4 months, I pull it out and say, "I'm just going to image with this tonight."
no,
Just kind of see what it looks like, you know.
you know, right now I'm ready to, you know, I'm gonna be getting my spree back from Arizona. They can't find anything wrong with it. They can't find. Dean put it through the ringer, and collimation's perfect. Focuser is collimated, so it's somewhere.
Hey,
It's somewhere after the focuser. It's you know.
That's a good question. We should reach out to Dean and see if Dean would like to be a guest on the show. I'd like to have Dean on the show. That would be fun to have him.
I'll ask him. I know him fairly well. Yeah, I know you know him fairly well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dean. I think Dean would definitely be interested because it'd be kind of cool to talk to him about the hyperstars and he's got some really. I mean, if you go to their website, they've got some pretty good little. Well, it depends upon if you're into Photoshop, but they've got some pretty good algorithms to plug into Photoshop.
Yep.
But I think he'd be kind of a good guest to have on to talk about, what he's got going on as well. So maybe that would be something we should do for 2023.
Yeah, I'll throw him an email after he sends me back my Esprit. I don't want him to keep it on me. Say, how dare you ask me? I'm keeping your scope. but there's the Arizona makes good stuff. I mean, I've used their filter slider. I've used their Evo guide flattener. So I mean, they make classic, good sturdy stuff, man.
And Dean's got some great people. Like he's got a guy called Ukiah that's really sharp. I mean, he's got some good people that work with him. So yeah, let's see if we can reach out to Dean and have him on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that Jason was working on it before he got all busy. Because he lives literally 10 minutes away from Arizona.
Wow.
He lives not that far away. John's out there. Dave, George Lutch, what's up? Only 570. Hey, you are not an astrophotographer until you've tried to put over 1,000 subs. Integrated. And you know what? I found something. Where did I find it? That I didn't know. So here's the thing with WBPP. Here's the thing. I have a decent computer. I have decent RAM. I don't know any computer that you can get anymore without buying like, a $10,000 computer. But I had an issue integrating all of those subs, those 1,200 subs at once. And I had to lower the buffer cache in WBPP or to do the integration. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do the integration manually, right? I didn't want to do it manually because I was doing it manually. I didn't let WBP do the integration because it would crash because it didn't have enough memory at the time to do all the rows. They had to split up the rows into different segments in order for it to integrate all of those subs, right? So again, I don't know. People may know this, people may not know this, and I'm going to show my screen real quick. And here is Pix Insight. I don't have an image. It doesn't matter. But when you go under WBPP, right? And we'll just go to WBPP real quick. Proscript. What the hell is it? I never go this way. Batch processing. WBPP. And let's give it a second to load up. It may load up with something. It's been, I've been playing around. And I'm going to load up my process icons too real quick once this pops up. So now if you change, see, again, this could be me being stupid and the light bulb just went off. But if you change something in your icons over here, right? When you have your icons here, it's only going to change for that icon if you save it back to that icon. That's the first thing. So when I should have done the other thing first because this is taking a while to load up now. You could actually change the parameters at which WBPP works by changing the root process and saving it. So let me show you if it loads up. It's loading up a whole thing, so I apologize about that. And what I mean by the root is you go under process, image integration, and save that buffer size. You could actually save the buffer size. And why is this taking so long? I hate when this happens. I hate when WBPP saves your last project and it loads up the whole project. It just takes forever. Drives me nuts. It should do an automatic reset. It's still loading. I hate when that happens. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a second. Let's not worry about that. When it comes up, I'll bring it up. What are you, Pima?
Yeah.
Chris Frierickson, man, you're back. The prodigal son returns.
Welcome back, Chris.
Yeah, Mark, WBPP is taking longer to load up because it's actually getting more capable, I guess. They're adding more to it. So they're adding astrometric solution. They're adding a bunch of other stuff. You're able to do more with it. You're able to split the channels. You're able to do everything. So it's a lot. It's a lot to load up, and I'm waiting to see if this is still loading up yet. Let's see. And yeah, it's still loading up. I can't believe how long this takes. Let me turn off Sky Tools. It's been 609 days since your last backup.
So I think I told you, Dan, and Pete, I think I may have mentioned this to you, Pete, that I got myself a kind of a birthday / Christmas present to myself. The Pegasus Astro Uranus Mateo sensor. And for those who don't know exactly what this is, it's from Pegasus Astro. It does a lot. This is more than just, it does GPS. It is a GPS receiver. So it picks up your GPS. It measures your temperature, relative humidity, your SQM or your sky quality, meter. So like your Bortle sky. So it does a whole bunch of really cool stuff. And it's it's handheld, or you can put it in your observatory. And then it, is quick to measure and everything. So, I mean, it gives you the bearing, gives you, cloud coverage, it lets you know basically through measuring, and, you've got these little sensors up here, like how far the clouds are, like if you had cloud cover or anything like that, and how far the clouds are as far as their altitude and everything like that. This little thing is impressive. And even gives you, like I say, cloud coverage, like now, based off of here, it is pulled in where I'm at 100%, so cloud coverage here in my area. So it's going to be this way for like the next 2 weeks. So it's one of those things, you buy something new, clouds roll in, guaranteed. Guaranteed. You get something new, what happens? You get 100% cloud cover, and the gods punish you. The astronomy gods, they punish you for at least 2 weeks.
Well, I tell you, Eric, we've got an atmospheric river coming through Hawaii, the Pineapple Express. Tomorrow we get a half inch of rain. Friday night to Saturday we get 4 inches of rain. Next Tuesday they're expecting 3 inches of rain. I mean, this is going to be the rain that we need to get California out of its drought. But it's coming down your direction here in the next couple of days.
Oh gosh, which basically for California that's rain. For us here in Illinois, that translates into snow and lots of it. So, I can't put an actual Dan. He could put up a link or anything like that. But if you go to PegasusAstro.com and look under their products, you will take a look and you will see one of their products. It is the Uranus Mateo sensor, it's a powerful little thing, powerful little kit. I mean, it's really, really small too. So, and I can, it's going to be great for me to prepare. So yeah, it's going to be awesome. Belvedere, AZ. So yeah, it's, I'm looking forward to, just playing around with it. And I actually tested it out yesterday, and I'm still, learning a bit, but it gave me a pretty accurate sky measurement. I believe it gave me around I want to say like 19, no, 20. It's like around 20. So yeah.
I got this thing up. So
you got it now? You got it?
Now. So here we go. So here's my icon set, and I just loaded my icon. Now, here's the thing with WBPP. If you, and I'm going to reset this real quick because image integration, and I'm going to reset the tool here. Okay, so with the image integration part of WBPP is going to run at the settings that are whatever in there and whatever changes you make after you open it up. So if you don't make any changes, it's going to run at the default. So image integration, when you go in there, and if you just go under, let's see, I got it over here now. So WBPP is right here. And you've got to be kidding me. It's doing it again. I can't with this. I reset it. It's reloading my last project again, and I forgot to reset it again.
Oh boy.
All right, we'll just wait for it. But whatever the case may be, it runs, and what we'll talk about is it runs for whatever settings you have each tool at. Okay, so normally what people do is you open it up, you open WBPP, right? Mm-hmm. And you load your flats, you load your bias, you load your lights, right? And then you check it, you run your diagnostics, you make sure everything is fine, and you're off to the races, right?
Right.
More or less. I mean, there's a little bit more to it, but more or less, that's in
a nutshell.
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
So that being said, there we go. Okay. So weighted batch being pre-processing is up. Okay, good. So weighted batch pre-processing is here. So if you just go like this and you just run what you do, it's going to run these at whatever defaults you have set when you open up the program. However, what I have found is if you have a large amount of subs like I have, and you have the issues where this thing is crashing, where you got to kind of lower the buffer size, your buffer size for integration in order to integrate the rows. And what I mean by that is when you go under process, all processes, image integration, right? Right here, this is usually grayed out, this automatic buffer size. Now, I had a problem where I needed to change this buffer size. And here, the tooltips in PixInsight are just awesome. If you look at the second paragraph on here, it says decrease this parameter if you experience out-of-memory errors during integration and this may be necessary for integration of large image sets on system with low memory resources. The minimum value is 0, which will use a single row of pixels per image. Okay, so not only is this with large image sets with low memory, I have 168 gig of RAM. I was doing 1,400 subs, 1,400 30-second subs, and I was getting an error, and it would crash. And WBPP would crash, at least on my system, with that amount of data going through it. So what I had to do is I had to lower this to 6. Okay.
Mhm.
I lowered that to 6 and let it go. And then I just said, okay, you know what? Well, I did it manually. I added all the files in here and I did the image integration manual. And what I didn't know, and something that I learned while just messing around and pressing buttons, if I made this change and go into image integration, right? Before I started WBPP, right? And I
Okay.
made this because this is going to come out when you start up the program, it's going to be at the default, right? If I made
Yep.
this change and 6, right?
Yep.
And then closed out of the tool and started image integration, when I go back into the tool, it's going to run WBPP with that setting.
Okay.
So now
So,
I can run WBPP with large image sets
mhm.
by changing
Based
that
off of what you've
before.
already done on the image integration module.
Yeah, you just got to make the change on the module before you start WBPP.
Nice.
And that's it. Unfortunately, one of the biggest issues is that you don't know you're going to have the problem until you have the problem.
Yeah.
But that's something I thought was kind of cool. Unfortunately, when you go under image integration parameters inside of WBPP, there is nowhere to change that buffer set. You have to do it from within the tool before you run it.
Interesting. Maybe that's something you can shoot out on the forum or something, and they will take a look at that and maybe give that as an option.
And I could be totally wrong, but it seems to work for me.
Okay.
And it seems to work for the program, and it does work for the program because I did it. I tested it. It works. It works fine. I put 1,000 subs in, and image integration would crash and crash and crash. And then I made that change. I went in, and it worked fine.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
You say, yeah, like we always say, keep educating.
Oh, Wade, you got a blocked comment here. Wade's on the show. Welcome, Wade. Wade's a picture of the month winner, Eagle Nebula.
Yeah, but Dennis shot a question.
Yeah.
And he was wondering now speaking about when we were talking about exposure length, and he says here, can you take with your one-shot color and sub, can you look at the background value and go off of that when you are calculating, when you're trying to calculate your exposure time? Maybe take a test taking a test shot and maybe bringing that into PixInsight and looking at the background, and based off of that value, maybe that helps. Maybe if I'm explaining it, Dennis, incorrectly, I apologize, and just let me know. But
wait, what was it? I'm sorry, I was looking for a link. What was the question?
it was regarding the exposure lengths,
Okay.
and you in a Bordeaux 9 sky, and how to figure how long you should be exposing each per light. And one thing he was asking is can you actually, use PixInsight and take a look at the, based off of the background values or the values you get, off of that light, that single, maybe a test image or anything, to help you determine your exposure lengths, maybe if it's too long or too short or anything like that. Because I do remember you when we had some chats before, and you were even when you're helping me out, and you were looking at, okay, first, like for overexposure of stars and things like that, if they were too, you would say, hey, let's go over the this area
readout
here, and let's
monitor.
use your readouts. And would that be in a way the same thing if you would take a image, they say a test light or anything like that, and bring it into PI? And
So I think that's going to be more of a I guess that's going to change from person to person to me, because you're judging on how washed out your picture is based on a number on a computer. Now, washed out to me may not be washed out to you, may not be washed out to Pete, because of the way we look at things.
right.
You know what I mean? So, you could use that and say, well, that doesn't look washed out to me, and use that number. But I would sit there and just say, hey, you know what? I'll take a 30-second and see what it looks like. I'll take a minute, see what it looks like. I'll take a minute and 30 seconds. And what do I want to deal with as far as the gradient in the background?
And this is why, for me, Dennis, is why the histogram is so important.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I agree.
Because just doing your preview shots, say within Nina at ASI Air, and looking at your ADU values, and those help me, especially if you have a histogram view. And I believe you do have that also in Nina, as well as within the ASI Air, to help me know that, depending on if I'm using a one-shot color, especially then, is how far or how much exposure or how do I need on this particular target. Say if I'm aiming at the rosette, and say if I'm taking a 30-second sub or even a 1 minute sub or anything like that as a preview, and see where I land as far as my histogram values. And then from there, that can usually give me a good idea of, okay, this is the right exposure length for me, or for this particular target, because it's going to change that. Because, as Pete mentioned several times, the surface brightness of the targets, it's going to change per target, because, me shooting, a dark nebula versus M42, they're going to be different.
Yeah, so the surface brightness is just a complete different,
Exactly. So really using that histogram is, in my opinion, the way to really go on determining the ideal length of the exposures you want to do. And for some folks, being within, say, that if you broke that histogram up into percentiles or quadrants or what have you, and if you're in that between 10 and 20 percentile, a lot of people consider that's good. Some may say, hey, you maybe not need to go that long. Maybe you can shorten it up and you can be a little bit further over to the left, as long as you're not clipping or anything like that. So it really depends, so I would really depend on, look at the histogram. That's what
I would agree with that 100%. That as long as you're off that left black end wall, your blacks are on the left and your whites are on your right? In the middle is all the grays, right? Okay. So what Eric means is you're going to have the histogram, and you'll have oh, sorry, this side. You'll have the histogram, and then you'll have the peak, right? And then it'll come down and go out down to the left. As long as that wall on the right side is off, is off the side where you can see the whole thing, then you're good. You just don't want that peak all the way over at, like, here's your histogram, right? Right? If your peak is where my head is all the way over here, that's not good because you're blowing it out. You just want it off that wall enough so you're not clipping, just exactly like what Eric said. And that's really a good way.
Especially when it comes to astrophotography and, you know, you're shooting, you know, the night sky. You just want it just off of there, or because depending on, you know, that exposure length, you could, if you try to go towards that 10, 20 percentile, you could actually start overexposing, especially your stars. You can start overexposing those stars. You know, it may just be too long. But even though you may have a full well depth that can handle that, but you can still, you know, you may take that risk, which is another reason why you really want to have a really good full well depth, you know, a large full well depth, so you can minimize that risk of overexposing. That's, you know, when you're selecting your cameras, but getting it more to that right side, you know, of your histogram, or over towards the black, and just off of the actual black point, and moving it a little bit over. That's, I think, where you may want to be.
Yep, I agree.
Let's see. So with this being, you know, us being now in, you know, the heat of, you know, the middle of pretty much almost the middle of winter, I love this time of year, but then again, I also hate this time of year, because even if I wouldn't have bought this, the clouds have just been horrible.
Yep.
And, you know, and it's been this way all over the country. You know, I was even looking at spots where, you know, over in New Mexico and Arizona, which would usually be, you know, on average, you know, really nice, dark, you know, clear skies and things like that. And they're getting, you know, a lot of cloud cover. And I'm feeding for some, you know, for some data, you know, because I've got, you know, Abel 85, I got to work on. And, you know, I'm working also, I was playing around with M42, because M42 is usually where I start measuring how well I've done over the year, just like with Andromeda, is those types of targets that I use as my benchmarks, you know, for how I've done over the year as far as my processing and the whole and capture and all of that stuff. So it's been crazy. I know I would love to come to Utah and go to one of the big five. Zion is one that I was talking about. Canyonlands, Bryce. I would love to get out there and stuff like that.
I'm making a poll out there. Poll time.
Mm-hmm.
The poll is: do you like the show's format the way it is, or do you want more structured conversations?
Yeah. Where did this come from? Are you just asking in general?
I threw it up there. I just threw it up there as a poll. See what people say.
See what people say. Why not?
I'm curious to see, because I'm going back and forth into making it a little bit more structured. You know, that's something we've all spoken about. But I like it the way it is too. So, I mean, you know, it's just kind of like one of those things.
Yeah. Come to Phoenix in August. I have been to Phoenix. I have been to Tempe. I've been, you know, in Vegas and all of that, you know, in summer. And yeah, wow. It's seriously, sometimes it's like the seventh circle. It's crazy how hot it could be. I mean, I guess that's why ASU's mascot are the Sun Devils, because good Lord, you feel like you're you really feel like you're in it.
All right. So it looks like we got 17 votes in. You know, everybody vote. You got 33 people watching. Come on, everybody vote. We don't want to know what people think. You know, a lot of people are saying a little bit of both. You know, so you know, just throw your vote in there. I'd really be interested to see what the membership wants.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'd be, you know, interested in hearing, you know, overall.
Yeah. And it looks like what's going to happen is the website is going to have another page of the you know, an AstroWorld members page, like meet the members. Yeah, that's in the works. So whoever wants a part of that, let me know. You'll have a little bio. You can throw some pictures on there, some testimonials, whatever about the show. So it looks like we got, you know, 75% say the way it is, and 26% say more structures. So, you know, so I'm going back to what we did, I guess, probably back in June, where, you know, we had a couple of presentations and then the conversation about them.
Yeah.
So we have that mix.
Yeah. Now, here's a little bit, you know, because we've talked about this, you and I, about this on and off, and trying to make and doing videos and stuff like that.
Yep.
But I'm going to start off with just a little bit of, you know, a question and structure, you know, right off here. When you tell me, you know, a little bit about your planning and preparation process as far as you know, the planning the night, or planning, you know, a couple days ahead or a week ahead, things like that. What are the things you look at? What are the things you what are those you know, websites or things that you regularly use to start planning, even before, you know, not just before target selection, but just saying, okay, here's some ideas, or this could be a good night to start work, you know, and stuff like that.
So I'll bring up, let's see, hopefully my computer, I pre-qualify for $5,000 at Laney Amps. What's Laney Amps? I don't know what Laney Amps is. Okay. Thank you, Affirm. Thank you for letting me know that. I'm actually pulling up the imaging toolbox here. So here's one of the things that I actually like doing. I use this because it's got nice color pictures. so this is Blackwater Skies, and again, this is a little bit once I've decided on a target. So if we want to go even before that, one of the things that I know you use, this. There you go.
Yeah.
And Telescopius. Now, the reason why I like Telescopius is you could change, number one, where you're there, you know, where you are, and what your search parameters are. So visible from, well, I don't know why I'm 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. I must have been doing something last. So let's say astronomical sunset to 5 a.m. So these are the things that are available. The one thing I don't like about Telescopius, and correct me if I'm wrong because you're a big time user of it. You can't put a custom horizon in here.
No, you cannot.
So that's a problem with me.
Sure.
So, you know, I'll use this to get an idea of what's up. And then what I'll do, and it's coming up on my first screen, so give me a second. I got to drag it on over once it opens. I use Stellarium because it allows me. What the hell just happened there? Ooh, that's funny. That's the wrong program. There we go. Let's do that. There we go. That was funny. We almost lost the whole show. But here you go. So I'm going to rewind in time because it's dark right now. So I'll rewind in time so you can see what I see. So There's my custom horizon. That's my backyard.
Yep.
Okay, all the telephone wires, all the bullshit, you know, the trees, the houses, whatever. So the thing that's good about this is once I go into dark, you could see that things disappear over here because that's where the telephone lines are. Right? So
Yep.
now once I get the idea of what I want to see, I could say, okay, you know what? I want to do, let's see, this is still a little bit early. Let's say 9 o'clock, let's say, and everything's disappearing. Why is everything disappearing? Oh, that's because it's over here. Okay, so let's say I'm going to do the monkey head nebula. I saw that monkey head right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then at this point, if I could get to it, there we go, monkey head nebula right there, right?
Yep.
Okay. So now what I could do is I could take this information and bring it into Nina, which has the same horizon, and it'll show me when I got an image to, when I can start, when I can finish, all that.
Okay.
Or I could just sit there and say, okay, you know what? That's the monkey head nebula. There it goes. And I'm going to go from, there it is over there, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. All right. And that, you know, and then, okay, I'm going to stop at 12:30 and then bring that in. I could bring all this stuff in that way. Or if you bring it into here, you could actually export this also into the ASI Air or Nina or whatever in a CSV and import it as a plan.
Yes.
So that's one of the good things about those two. But once I've done, now I want to frame it. So let's say, since we're talking about it, we'll go to the monkey's head, right? And where is it? Search monkey's head. And of course, we don't know what it is because it wants an NGC number, NGC 2175. NGC 2175. Oh, there we go. There's the monkey's head.
Dan, before you go much further, talk about the survey, because with Blackwater Skies, you got some choices on the survey there. If you go down to where you just typed in the NGC number.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
you can do different surveys from whatever telescope or camera that you want to do. I just leave it at the default on DSS colors, but you could change it to an H alpha,
Yeah.
and then
Some of them come up, some of them don't
in
in Blackwater Skies.
you could do this colored one. You could do a couple other ones. Sometimes it takes a little while, but the DSS colored is the one that usually has pretty much everything you want.
And then, Dan, before you might go further, take a look at the very top. You got your RA and your deck coordinates is also your field of view. The very top.
Oh, up here.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I like about deep Blackwater Skies.
Yep. So you could designate where the center is, and there it is, 60952 by 2027-30. So there's your RA and your deck there. So you could choose whatever target you want. You could choose whatever, if you want to choose something else. This is called Messier numbers. Those are preloaded in there if you want to use one of those. Then you put in your camera. So my camera is the 2HY 68.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And my scope is, let's say I'm going to use the AP130. Let's see. Right? So Astrophysics Starfire 130F 6.3. There it is. Okay. I'm not using a Barlow, so we're going to calculate. So that's my image scale right there. That's what my image is going to look like.
So the image scale now is in the top left-hand corner.
Well, the field of view
Right
is there.
No. The box, the green box, top left-hand
there you
corner.
go, right here. Yeah, sorry. 0.95 per pixel. Right? So that's right in that 0.67 to 2 range that Pete talks about all the time.
Yep.
So I won't need to drizzle, which is good.
Yep.
And you can do it for anything. So now that I have the camera in there, if I wanted to change telescopes, I could just change the scope. So let's say I'm going to be using my Skywatcher S3E90, which I have, and then calculate that. Now, same camera, different focal length. So now I got a wider field of view.
And what you can do is you can keep and store each of these colored frames. So the green one, the green frame would be for one scope, a blue frame would be for a second scope, and you can keep that. You ever want to pull that up?
Where is that again? I don't
It's
really
on the left side, Dan. It'll be on the left side, the column. There we go, right there. So you just type in what you got right there, and then you give it the color. So at the very top, you keep that project name. What's the scope? What's the camera?
But now new. Oh, I'd
And then
have
just
to.
give it a name. Yeah.
Huh. But that's not going to. I don't know if you could do that.
Yeah,
I don't know if
you can definitely.
I don't know if it'll layer it like that. Will it? I've never done that.
Yeah. I've done that. I've got 4 scopes within my Blackwater skies that I've given them 4 different colors for the 4 different cameras. And you can definitely just go ahead and just do that. You just have to give it a name when you do it.
I did. I gave it add. That's something I'll have to look at. I've never done that before, so I've only had a couple of cameras, and I would never use a different. Whatever scope I end up using, that's the scope I use. So I haven't needed to do that. Now I know with astronomy.tools you could do that. It'll layer it like that, but I've never done it with this. So okay, but that's Blackwater skies.
Yeah.
And at this point, then I format it, and I say, Nina, let's go, and I go with Nina.
Yeah. Now with Nina, I use that honestly. I use it quite a bit, even though I'm using the ASI Air. I still use it quite a bit for my framing. Because I'll put in all of my parameters, and I do have as some of our viewers in the chat were talking, have your horizon. You can build out your custom horizon just like you've done within Stellarium. You can usually take that same file and just make some small modifications, and then drop that also into Nina.
Yep.
For your to simulate, your horizon or the obstructions around your area to help better plan what you want to do. So like you say, I've used Telescopius, or I've also, and like I said, I've also used Nina quite a bit, especially for the framing and everything, to just get that field of view and those reference points, so I can say, okay, this is going to work or not. And the big thing is using that, that custom horizon. It really helps you prepare to say, okay, when are the best times for me to take this shot during this particular night, so you're not wasting exposures on all of a sudden, your target has now gone beyond your horizon, or now you're taking pictures of, trees or, or another, or your neighbor's house. And then all of a sudden, you start feeling like a peeping Tom,
Yeah, right.
or something like that. So those are some big things that I use, for while I'm still working on, the few little bugs, and eventually me getting that mini computer so I can actually put it to right beside the the my OTA and my rig and everything. Yes, definitely, Carol. You can absolutely. That's a great point. Is you can absolutely go to AstroBin, especially if you've decided on your targets, and you can absolutely go in, look at those targets, and then you can actually filter. In many cases, your filter, maybe your camera, or even your camera combination, and you might get some results there that you can, help you determine, okay, how things may look if you have a very similar setup, as well as you can also look under filter out border sky conditions. If you know your sky quality in your border sky area, you can actually put those and filter those within AstroBin as well to help you narrow that down even further, to help get ideas on exposure lengths and everything. So no, that good, very good point there, Carol.
I'm looking.
All right. Well, we're almost to a quarter till here. Do we want to do the drawing?
Yeah, we got to do that. I was looking through. I'm sorry, I was looking through Stellarium. I was trying to show some. It's set up on my Eagle. It's not set up on my desktop to do this. But you could actually take if you're using Stellarium as your custom horizon and working with Nina. When you're doing your imaging, if you have your target selected in Stellarium, if you have your server settings set correctly in Stellarium, you could actually, and with a click of a button, click on it, and it will drag the coordinates that are selected in Stellarium immediately right into the framing wizard of Nina. So you don't have to worry about, oh man, what's the name, whatever. Nope, you just click on the button. It'll say get coordinates from Planetarium software, and it'll drag it right in there. So you've checked it with your custom horizon, you've had everything, and it's right in there. So there's a way to do that. It's just I don't have my Eagle is sitting on the floor, not connected right now, not on the floor, but it's there. But yeah. So let me get this up real quick, and we'll do that.
Chris, ETA on calendars from Chris. I know Dan. He had mentioned he just ordered a couple just so he could get.
Take a look
an
at
idea of how things are shaping up and how things are looking, and then I believe you can now go ahead and start doing your pre-order.
Actually, I believe he already ordered a couple. To be honest with you, so I just wanted to get a couple of them to touch, feel, look at the quality of the pictures first. I did take pre-orders. I wanted to make sure things are working with Shopify and all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping to get it to people by the middle of January. So I ordered the 2. It's already in process. It looks like it takes a week after ordering to get it. Now that being said, once I get it, it'll take me a couple of days to ship it out. So probably 2 weeks. So we're looking at somewhere second or third week in January. Somewhere in that area.
Okay.
Next year it'll be out earlier because we're just doing, December to December. We're not doing January to January. We're doing December to December. So it'll all be out for 2024 on time. And let's see. So let me get on to the wheel site. Yeah. Let me just see if there's any new people that signed up for IP for AP. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's almost 11 o'clock already. Jeez, this went by.
Yeah.
Raffle Press. And IP user. Oh yeah, we got some more people. We got 141 now. 141 users.
Crazy.
Unbelievable.
And all right, copy that, and I'll bring it into Mars Cam giveaway. It still says Mars Cam giveaway. IP3. Yeah, we got 141. There we go. Okay, so here's the wheel.
Oh man.
All right.
That's crazy, man. That is insane.
So you have a 1 in 141 chance of winning a 1-year subscription to IP4AP, which is a great tool for not only PixInsight, but a lot of Photoshop. That's where they cut their teeth with IP4AP, was with Photoshop. So there's a lot of great tutorials about that, and that is also run by I believe it's all three of them. I know it was started by Warren and Pete from Masters of PixInsight. Ron came in a little bit later, but I think they're all contributing now to it. Could be wrong, so if I'm wrong, I apologize, guys. But this is for a 1-year subscription for Masters of PixInsight. So here we go. Not for IP4AP. Here we go. Pamela Morgan McKee.
Congratulations.
I'll write that down to Pamela Morgan McKee. All right, Pamela. So I'll send you an email today with the information, with Pete's information, and you'll get your voucher for the 1-year subscription. So congratulations there.
Nice.
And let's see what else we got going on. Anything else in? So, all right. So 25 votes in, and it looks like it's like a 70-30 split on keep it the way it is and more structure. So I think we got to start building the show a little bit. You know, keep it funny, but keep it pointed.
Yep. I agree with you.
So, and I know, listen, we've gone down this road before a couple of times. It's kind of like, New Year's resolutions. You're good for about 3 weeks, and then you're back, eating chocolate chip cookies. So we gotta endure the terror of me, pretty much. That kind of throws things off the rails a little bit. So and I think everybody's right. I think we should have a little bit more of a pointed discussion, so you kind of know what you're getting into. At least, maybe we'll have 3 topics like we did before. Right now it looks like it's and then there were 3 because I haven't seen Scott in a while, so I don't know where. I hope he's okay. I hope everything's fine. But I know he's been working a lot, and I think he's feeling the pressure of work and everything. So so we may see Scott in the future. Who knows? But I think that the 3 of us should kind of get together and what we could do is like maybe, and I'm in the process right now of making a schedule, kind of of ideas. Like maybe we do a hardware, software, freeform, and something else for the nights that we don't have guests, because the guest nights will be probably Wednesday nights. That's where I've been going. I haven't been booking any guests on any other night other than Wednesday. If we all of a sudden get an overflow of guests that could only make it a particular month, we'll do Fridays, but Wednesday's going to be pretty much guest night. And then Fridays we can kind of do whatever we want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Q&As and critiques and a lot of the beginner information, and just sharing also general information, things that are coming up, because what is it? is it a week from what? Is it Monday? Monday, Tuesday, NEAF tickets get go on
The second,
sale.
yeah, the second, I believe.
Yeah. So,
And you know,
looking
AstroWorld's going to be at NEAF, so you got to come and see us at NEAF.
Yeah,
AstroWorld's going to be at
definitely.
NEAF. And I'm
Yeah.
going to put a suggestion box on the site. So whatever you guys want to see at NEAF, I think I'm going to put a TV on a stand with, something up there. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm floating
Well,
around.
yeah, we those things we can always figure out. But yeah, Robin actually gave me the all clear.
Oh, you're 100% now.
Yeah. So
Oh, it was
now,
climbing. It was 50, it was 60, and then it jumped to 80. Now it's 100%.
Yeah, now it's 100%.
All
Yeah,
right.
She's on board with me heading to New York. So
You, me, and Pete, man.
We're heading to New York.
It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick. And you know what the great thing is? Just and I'm going way off the rails here. Here we go. This is the end of the show. You know what I love about the noise gate of this mic right here? For those of you guys that don't know what a noise gate is, a noise gate is a filter on the microphone that will make only the things right in front of the mic be heard. So, my wife could be in the other room and, you kind of hear, you don't hear that, right? I just blasted a sick fart like 2 seconds ago and nobody heard it. It was great.
Rails! Crash!
Stop whining.
Oh, sweet God. That's awesome.
Stop whining.
Why is my
Oh,
oh man, what's going
goodness.
on here? There we go.
That is.
There we go, we're back. But anyway, but I guess yeah, so go check out, go on the website. You can buy a calendar on the website if you're so inclined. You could go do that. We have we dropped like 4 subscribers after I made that fart comment, but that's okay. But
There it is.
yeah, well, hey, the doggies said hi. The doggies are here. But
that's something.
whatever. It's the end of the year. It's the end of the year. We gotta let it all out.
I hear you, bro.
Do I think
Man, I just got a whiff of it right now, man.
it's wafting over the internet. But do I think the deals on cameras at NEAF would be better than current sales? Probably.
They
Probably,
might be.
especially on Sunday. Sunday's the day for the deals. Sunday's the day for the deals. And you know what? Because you know what the whole thing is with these shows? Nobody wants to ship the crap to where they came from. Nobody wants to do that. So they're trying to get rid of it. They don't want to ship it all. It's if they could knock off $20 on a camera so they don't have to ship it back, they'll do that.
They'll do it.
So you're more of a chance of getting a deal and schmoozing with the people. But just don't be one of those hardballers that kind of lowball everything. I'm going to give you $500 for a $2,000 camera. That's not going to happen. People be like, yeah, go get your 10% off on the website, and that's fine. But if you go there with cash, there are some dealers out there that'll sell you stuff no tax, and so it's going to be an interesting thing. So
yeah, and I mean this is what 2 or 3 years
19.
since, wow.
Yep.
And see, I think it's gonna be huge. I really do. I'm really hoping that it is. It's good that it is, because 3 years of waiting, 3-4 years of waiting. It's been a long time coming.
So Beatrice, you could go on the Discord channel. It's AstroWorld's Q&A with the and sign, Q&A. and you could get on the Discord channel. And I believe it's in the. Am I not? Yeah. So it's in the It's right in the comments. The website's right in the comments. Join our Discord server. You could go right there and join our server there. Beatrice is back. Carol, how you doing? Thanks for the emails. All right, so it's 11 o'clock, fellas.
All right.
Any final thoughts? You see the retro shirt? You see the retro shirt, Eric?
Yeah, I see it, man. I see it.
You know, this is all because the Islanders won and they were wearing their retro jersey. So I went with the retro AstroWorld logo.
There's the reason behind it. The methods of the madness. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm whacked. But Eric, final thoughts?
No, again, thank you everybody for the birthday wishes. First off, I really appreciate that. It was great. Also, thank you guys for joining us. Definitely, if you have questions, thoughts, ideas, anything like that for the show, definitely throw them up on the, throw them on the Discord server, throw them there, or you can email us. But really appreciate, just all the continued support throughout the year. I mean, we are, Friday, the last show of 2022, man. So
no, we got Friday still.
That's what I'm saying. Friday.
Oh, Friday. I thought you said
that's
right. I'm sorry, I lost
you. Yeah. Friday will be the last show of 2022.
Hey,
so, yeah. Thank you guys for your continued support. Really appreciate it.
No.
Yeah, and happy birthday, Corin. Absolutely.
Oh, it's Corin's birthday. Oh, Corin's birthday too. Yeah. My buddy Corin. What's going on, man? And you know what? That's right. The dog just wanted to come in and take a peek.
Thank you all. Really appreciate it.
All right.
Hey, happy birthday, Eric. Good.
Thank you.
You made it to 50. And as Eric said, definitely the last show is on Friday. So please, anybody, suggestions for next year. We've got some ideas, but if you've got ideas that you'd like to see us do, please put them in the Discord so we can definitely take a look, and we'll definitely come up with something. And as I said, Dan, we've kind of got an idea here now. We'll do one show maybe a month where it's structured, and the rest of the shows maybe we just kind of keep as a free format, laughs, giggles. But overall, I kind of like the format of the show the way it is. It's kind of interesting. Information is being definitely spread amongst the collective. And I think a lot of the members are getting it as well. So absolutely, I like the format. But if there's anything that they want us to do, by all means, please send us a message and let us know, and we'll definitely put it into the program.
Awesome.
And then also with Dylan, Dan, you'll get Dylan's address so I can send him that platter drive.
Yeah, Dylan, Discord me your address so I can give it to Pete.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Thanks.
All right, everybody. Well, another one down, and we are winding down 2022. We got a good 3 days to New Year's Eve, 4 days to 2023, and hey, it's been an awesome year. Astropalooza broke 1,000 subscribers. We're 6 shy of 1,500 right now, and it's been an awesome ride. So thank you everybody for hanging out. Thank you everybody for the questions and hanging out in the peanut gallery and dealing with my off-color comments. Appreciate it. It wouldn't be a show if I didn't have one. I mean, come on, let's be real.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, but Dan, we haven't seen an off the rail video. You gotta make it go here, man. Come on.
You know what? My button's broken.
Oh.
So that's why what I was trying to do. I was trying to do it, and my button died. But I could do it the another way. I could do it this way. There you go. So there you go. But on a serious note, thank you everybody for everything. Thank you everybody for the support, and please share the show. Smash that like button. And what I'm going to be doing in the future, especially I started during Astropalooza, and let me tell you something. And you guys don't even know this. So this is like an AstroWorld exclusive. if you follow the channel, I actually, after Astropalooza, I put up each guest segment as a separate video as requested by one or two people. So I split them all up into part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, whatever, all the way up to part 13 for every single guest. We garnered more views on the recorded version separately than we did on the live version. So we had 1,700 people watch the live version of the show. And when you add up all 13 parts, we have over 2,000 more views watching the recorded parts. So we had over 4,000 views almost with Astropalooza. So, I mean, it looks like it's going to be a resounding yes. I've had some questions that Astropalooza will be coming back for Astropalooza Part 2. And we'll see what that entails. Hopefully some of the same guests, some different guests, who knows. So we'll see. I'm going to start. I already started building the guest list yesterday, so, and I won't say who that is, but we'll see. But other than that, that's really all I have. Anything in the peanut gallery? Anybody saying anything? No. AZ4 Runner, going to wear them when I go. Pink booty shorts. All right. There you go.
Okay.
All right. Dude,
All right.
AZ, you could have the pink booty shorts. I'll come with my Speedo.
Run.
Do that.
Just run.
Pix Insight in
Run.
11 steps. Yeah, that was great. That was unbelievable. That was the Ron and Warren. What was that? Andromeda Galaxy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yep.
So.
All right, everybody. Well, congratulations to Pam. And I'll send you an email. Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Eric, for hanging out for another. Well, we have one more show before the year's out, but I mean, but it's been awesome. So everybody have a good night. We'll see everybody Friday for the last show of 2022, and we'll be going on to 2023. And I'm looking so forward to it. So thank you, everybody, for the love. Hit that like button. Share the show, share it to people, talk it up. We do love doing this, and we do love imparting any random information that we have for you every Wednesday and Friday night. So thank you very much, and as always, remember to keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And we'll see you Friday night or the end of 2022. Have a good night, everybody.
See you, everybody.